or no running yet?
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, it ran when we took it apart, but
So it should run when you put it back together.
yeah. 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 No, all the
Uh,
wires are still just sitting on top of the engine. So ran
all
when
right. All right. So now let's jump over to Paul from FabRats. Paul, I know when I left, it was basically like a rolling chassis kind of thing. What are we looking at now?
It's still a rolling chassis, so bumpers are pretty much all sorted out now. We've been welding body panels, getting all the outside stuff. Radiators built. As soon as I get fuel to it, it'll run. So we're close.
Awesome. All right. Dirt Lifestyle Nate, let's hear from you. What I can see, you got a Zook in the background, and I see your project peeking out from behind your mic there. What's the status of the old J20 slash dually shenanigans vehicle?
There's a little better. Well, I've got this week, I've been kind of juggling projects, but we've got the bed is mounted. We have all the mounts built for the bed now. We have all the mounts built for the cab now. So all that is at least tacked in place. I've got the suspension front and rear all tacked in place. We're just doing some final ideas and adjustments before we burn it all together and start painting stuff. So, and then after that, we have like miles and miles of problems to solve. I mean, cooling this engine is going to be a huge problem for us, and that's something that I'm working through.
All right, good stuff. So Rory, obviously the truck isn't with you anymore. Do you plan to go and help Colt during the build anymore now that the vehicle's at his place in Farmington?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I'm headed down to Farmington for the We Rock event, so I think I'm going to go down early a couple days and go help him get as much knocked out as we can.
Awesome. All right, so from the rental car in Las Vegas, Robbie, do you even know what condition your truck is in, or you just like call the guys back at the shop and be like, "Hey man, how's it going?"
Yeah. Yeah. So today they got rock sliders installed. Before I left yesterday. We got all the suspension in it. We have the rear struts all mounted. We ordered some fronts and they're on back order for like another 3 weeks. So that's not wrapped up, but what we're going to do is get the drivetrain, exhaust, fuel lines, fuel tank, everything done before we put the body back on it. And we got the body sitting in the fab shop right now. But we pretty well have everything done on that needs to be done except for putting it back on the frame. So it looks like we're way far away, but once the body goes on the frame, it should run and drive.
What decision did you make for shocks? Because I know we were having that conversation when we were there.
So I have those used 14 ORIs in the rear. So I ordered some 12-inch ORIs for the front.
Okay, good stuff.
So
all right. You're big so Paul's got you convinced on that ORI life, right?
Hey, I've got 2 vehicles that have ORIs and they work.
There you go. That's all.
So, I don't have time to learn how to do the spring rate stuff, and so I'm just gonna put nitrogen in it and get my ride height
and drive over rocks. I understand completely. What did you decide for steering on the front? Because I know we talked about that too. What's the decision there?
So now that I've got my budget pretty well dialed, I think I'm gonna have budget to do a full hydro system.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's right around $3,000, and I think it'll just eliminate a lot of issues that we're gonna potentially have. So
okay, all right.
I think that's the route we're gonna go.
So, as Robbie said, his budget pretty well dialed in. I think that little segue into a couple things that we should talk about here, budget wise. Since everyone wants to know, and I'm sure everyone in the chat will also want to know. I sent Robbie a text message today, let him know where he was at budget wise, so he knows where he's at. What we're doing this year is to prevent the incredibly long process of having all of you guys crawl through your budgets and criticize everything from a center console to a spring. As we said from the very beginning, I'm determining all your budgets from the jump street. I will communicate with each one of you individually as to where your budget's at as we go. And so we're not going to have everyone sort of commenting on each other's budgets. You'll just know where you're at when we're there. And that way you guys will know. Is there any question? Oh, and then the biggest change that came up this week was the tire issue. And for everyone in the chat and everyone's watching, what we did is we decided just to set a set cost for tires. And that way people can run new tires at the price of used tires, because we had some rather interesting math being done around tires. And I would rather have people drive on good quality tires, because I know we said you don't have to drive on the highway, which you don't have to do, but there is a chance that you will be driving on the highway. Someone in the chat just wanted to know if stickies are now in the budget, and I guess it all depends really how much money you got left at the end of the day if stickies are in the budget or not. Any questions or comments about the budget from our builders here in this? We'll start with Colt. Colt, what you got for me? I know you got something to say.
Well, I'm probably one of the few guys that it hurt me because I got a really good deal on my wheels and tires, and I spent time cleaning them up and painting them. And Shanna helped me, and Rory was there when we dismounted them and mounted them. But it is what it is. I understand that too. The date codes on these tires is 2000, so usually a tire shop won't touch a tire if it's over 8 to 10 years old.
I wouldn't touch tires over 5 years old, but that's okay. Goodness gracious. Okay, so yes, Colt did lose in the tire problem. That is absolutely true. But I think in the end. So what's your plan? Are you swapping out tires, or what are you going to do?
Not sure yet. We'll see where the budget is when things get to where they're at. But my plan is to run 37-inch tall tires, so I'm not going any bigger than that. So if it's going to be the same price no matter what, then maybe I could find some better, newer 37s down the road.
All right, Paul. Budget questions. Where are you? I know. I gave you your budget when we were there visiting, and I'll probably send you when we sit down with our team here and come up with a final number. But any questions or comments around your budget so far?
No, we were actually like $500 difference on what I had wrote down and what you had wrote down. So I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah, I think Paul was pretty good. I mean, he had a lot of stuff that he had stuff in there that I had actually missed, stuff that I had seen, and he just asked me, and I put, because he had billed some stuff out at prices that I consider to be too high. Just like Colt was just talking recently, just before we started our live stream, he'd bought some used shocks. The prices that he has on that used shock, in my opinion, is a little high. I think it's actually going to be a little bit lower. So that's how we play that game. What I do is when these guys give me their rundown of what parts they've got, I'm going and I'm looking at what's actually being sold, used, around, type of thing. Nate, budget questions, comments, concerns, what you got?
I mean, there are no questions on my end. I know that I'm gonna. I haven't tallied everything up yet, but I know that I'm gonna be way over as far as what I'm looking at right now. Because all the stuff that I originally planned on using that was used that just came with the rig, the original Dana 60 Dodge Dana 60 front. By the time I actually added up the cost to make the 2-piece shaft a 1-piece and all this other stuff, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just get a Super Duty 60. Going to cost so much. Same thing with the rear. Is by the time you build a Dana 80, you could buy and build a 14 bolt. So, and that'll fit better, but it's compiling quickly. I could have just went with leaf springs in the rear and I chose not to. And so my budget is, it is ballooning quickly.
So your plan, and I know you and I have talked a couple of times through text message, because you've kind of at this point, you look at that truck and you're like, I don't want to budget build this truck. I just want to build this truck, right?
Yeah. I'm having a really tough time right now because I'm falling in love with this truck big time. I want this to be something that I didn't. I don't want expense to be a reason that I chose to go one way or another. And if I just chose the wrong truck, I should have chose anything else. I don't know why I chose this.
Well, at the end of the day, what you're going to have is a cool truck. You're going to come on a cool trip, and you're going to show up at the SEMA show. If you don't win, you don't win. That's just part of the game, right? It's just we're here to have fun.
Dude, at this point, I'm not worried about winning. I'm worried about making it. It's not even just the budget. It's the time budget is also a problem, but it's all good.
So show of hands, who here has ever had a car at the SEMA show? There we go. So Nate knows. Robbie, yeah, there we go. You know what SEMA crunch is. So now you're living it on a multiple level, right? So that's just part of the game, right? That's part of it. So
I'm not worried about it. I don't even need drive shafts.
That's right. That's the one good thing about SEMA. You won't need the drive shafts for SEMA. You might need it for the week before. All right. So Rory, since Colt kind of covered your budget question, let's talk a little bit about, is $20,000 a legitimate budget to build like an off-road vehicle?
Oh, don't ask me that. I mean, literally, if you scourge around on rock crawl and classifieds, $20,000, you can buy a very capable vehicle. And then building one's super easy to do for 20,000 if you don't factor your labor.
Yeah, I think,
I've probably only got like $12,000 in my buggy if I don't count my labor.
yeah, I think that's a very good point. And that leads us perfectly into Robbie, because Robbie, I think you've kind of found a little bit of a cheat code here, because when I was looking at that truck, that van of yours, I mean, if somebody had to pay to have all that aluminum work done, you're into like 50 grand already. Like
if we build out 3 employees every day, we'd be $1,250 per employee per day.
Yeah. And approximately how many days on that truck?
Yeah, I'll bet we're probably 20 right now.
Yeah. So
20 working days.
I'll say
and it's going to take the rest of the time to get it done.
and I'll say this. It was when I visited Robbie's shop, Robbie said, you're going to be super stoked about the work that's going on in this van. When I visited Robbie's shop, it's like, I've seen a lot of those step vans, like hammered on the ground, cool little hot rod trucks. This is maybe the first time I've ever seen one like sitting on 40s, but the aluminum work that's inside that thing, it's like it's a street rod. So it's definitely like SEMA ready for sure. That's the best. I'm gonna get sick when I see it on the trail, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be worried about that.
You should see the frame now. Everything's been smoothed on the frame. We've got the back all. It's gonna be flat bottomed like 6 feet. Like it's gonna be sweet.
I'm excited. All right, so that's going to lead us into the biggest thing here. So while I have you all here on this live stream, I am going to share what we're going to be doing on the trip 100%. Unlike last year, where we had a secret because we're trying to replicate Ultimate Adventure, which has a lot of secrets in it. This year, I will tell you exactly where we're going to go, and you'll be able to see what the plan is and why we made the change for the tire rule when I show it to you. So I'm going to share my screen with everybody here. And I'm going to share. There we go. Okay. Everybody see this?
Yep.
All right. Here is your starting location right here. This is Pima County Fairgrounds. Now you may notice if I zoom in, there's a really long straight thing right here. That's called a drag strip. You may also notice there's an oval over here. There's also some type of road racy course over here. And there's a whole bunch of cool stuff right over here in this dirt parking lot over here. This is Tucson Dragway. You guys asked me to give you head-to-head vehicle competition. So this is where we're starting. We have a day at Tucson Dragway, and this is your playground. We're going to be doing everything from drag strip, road course, off-road challenge, obstacle course. Everything is going to happen right here in this first day in Tucson, Arizona. So this is where you guys are going to get to show your vehicle off, see what it can do. You're going to put it to the test right here in both the dirt and in asphalt. And as we talked about in the previous live stream, keeping with their Las Vegas theme, the day that you arrive at Pima County County Fairgrounds, we will be tallying up how many votes you have in the challenge. You will then be assigned, for every vote, you get $1, one onX buck. You then bet. You'll be betting your onX bucks on every single challenge that we do right here. There's going to be a minimum bet and a maximum bet. So you have to bet. So you can bet minimum is going to be 100 votes, 100 votes on what your quarter mile time is going to be, 100 votes on what your time inside the obstacle course is going to be. You're going to be betting on all that. And you can bet a maximum bet at this point at the exact same time. So we're going to spend a whole day here just basically putting your cars to the test here at Pima County Fairgrounds, drag strip, off-road course, obstacle course, and if we have time, we'll do the road course. Any questions about this little day of adventure? That was so easy. There we go. Okay, so next location is, so there's going to be one day right there. Then we're going to go way up here. Actually, it's not that far. It's just north of Tucson. North of Tucson is a trail called Charlotte Gap. We will meet at this location the next morning, and we will begin our Charlotte Gap Trail. Charlotte Gap, we will spend 2 days on this trail, and we'll be camping right here halfway through the trail and spending the night. It's a beautiful spot. We've already pre-run it, as you can see. Nice. Sometimes there's water in this river. I don't know if it'll be there in the fall, but this will be where we camp your one night on the trail, and this is where you will participate in your cook-off challenge. As you know, overlanders love to cook food when they're on the trail, so you guys are going to be presenting to the judge one dish. Now that is going to come into play later on in our challenge. Whoever the winner is will get an advantage as we move on later on down the trip. So we're going to camp here. Next morning, we will wake up and we will continue through Charlotte Gap Trail, ending up here in Oracle. Now, this is why my concern with the tires was. I said you guys could trailer to all the starts and finishes, which is true. But as you see, this trail finishes in Oracle, but it starts over here just outside of, I believe it is, I can't remember the name of this town. Anyway, starts over here, right here, where we start. So how you get from the finish, which is here, to the start, which is here, is completely up to you. If you don't have a vehicle that you can drive on the road, you're going to have to run the trail backwards, or you're going to have to go get someone to give you a lift to go get your truck and trailer to come back over here and pick up your truck. The good news is this will be Wednesday night when we come out of this trail, or Wednesday afternoon. I'm giving you guys an entire day, all day Thursday, to get to our final trail location. And that is Payson, Arizona, which is a little bit farther away, which is up here, right here in this area right here. So this is Payson, Arizona. So Friday morning, we will meet in Payson, Arizona on the Pay It Draw Trail. That is this trail right here. Pay It Draw is an 8 out of 10 trail. It is not an easy trail, but here's the kicker. All the obstacles are 100% optional. You do not have to run the obstacles. When we start this trail, all of you will be given 5 playing cards. If you run an optional gate, you can exchange one of those playing cards for a different playing card. At the end of the trail, we will be playing one hand of poker, where you are able to bet up to 10,000 votes on that hand of poker. So if you start this trail with a bad poker hand and you run all the gates, you could have the best poker hand in the group and you could bet 10,000 votes, skyrocket up the charts. If you don't want to run the gates and you want to protect your vehicle, you're going to play the hand that you're given at the start of the trail. And that will be how you have to play it. Maybe you're good at poker, maybe you're not. We'll find out when we get there. This is Friday night. That's where we end, and that's the end of the trip. The next day, Saturday or Sunday, you have to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is, hold on, let me zoom out some more, which is right here, Las Vegas. We'll be putting in at the SEMA show on preferably Saturday, but if you have to, we can go Sunday if you have a problem getting there. But we'll be putting in the convention center, and this is where vehicles will be on display. This is obviously an old map. This is West Hall right here. This is the parking lot just outside the West Hall. You guys will be the anchor for what's called the Diamond Lot, where SEMA will be live streaming the event the whole week, and your vehicles will be on display in a booth right here for all of you guys to show off your vehicles. Friday is open to the public, so if you guys want to have a meet and greet, have a bunch of people show up, see the vehicles, and Friday is where we announce the winner. There will be one other challenge that is going to happen back here at the end of Pay It Draw. This is your winching challenge. This is where that cooking competition comes into play, because there is one trail here. There is one section of Pay It Draw, which is a little bit tricky. I'm going to try and find the picture of it for you. It is right here. So this is the final obstacle on Pay It Draw. You will be winching somebody up this hill. Who you're winching will be randomly selected unless you win the cooking challenge. Then you get to pick who you winch up that hill. So that's your entire trip. Those are all the events. Those are all the challenges. Any questions at all with what's going to be happening on this trip?
No, that sounds fun, actually.
Pie at Draw has been on my bucket list for years, so I'm kind of excited to get out there and run it.
I tried to build you guys a trip that isn't stressful, so it's not like that's why I baked in that Thursday day. So you have a whole like if you get on the highway and drive from Oracle, Arizona up to Payson, it's really 3 hours. So if you tow up there, I think it's actually 2 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how you go. So you have but you have a whole day to get there. So I didn't want to put you guys in a position where you're kind of stressed about getting places and doing stuff. And then the same for the SEMA show. From Payson to Vegas, I think is 4 hours straight, but you have all day to get there. And like I said, if something happens, you can come in on Sunday. It's okay. We have permission from SEMA to put the vehicles into place on Sunday as well. So that's the plan.
So at SEMA, are we in West Hall or is it outside of West Hall?
Right now we are outside. We are anchoring the Diamond lot. We are part of the exact same lot where all the Battle of the Builders cars are going to be. So when I talk, for those of you that don't know, SEMA is 100% live streamed this year by SEMA. So SEMA is going to be live streaming the entire week, all week long, all kinds of stuff happening. So Battle of the Builders is supposed to be sharing the lot with us, and we're going to be just outside West Hall. So the benefit to being outside is, yes, Friday's open to the public, but realistically, outside stuff is kind of open all the time. But we're going to, so you can have your fans or your channel subscribers, whatever, stop by anytime you wanted. We're going to try and have like a Friday meet and greet and announcement of the winner all in one shot. That's what we're going to film it on Friday. And there should be a good crowd around there because I think they're going to do Battle of the Builders at the exact same time. All right. Question, comments, concerns, anything from everybody? You all looking good?
Battle of the Builders is a 4x4 division, just so you know.
Yeah, there is an off-road division for Battle of the Builders. Robbie, are you entering in the Battle of the Builders, or have you decided yet?
I think Sean wants us to, so we probably will.
I think that would be smart. Nate, if you finish that J20, it should also be, you should sign up for Battle of the Builders too. Absolutely. It will not, Battle of the Builders is something completely different. For anyone who doesn't know, that's a SEMA thing. It's a competition, and anyone can enter. And if you want to enter Battle of the Builders, it's not going to affect us at all. We'll shoot around it. We'll work our way around it. It's completely up to you guys. I think that normally what's in Battle of the Builders in the off-road competition is literally gladiators with Cognito lift kits and 24s. So
and Bluetooth drive shafts.
And Bluetooth drive shafts. So I think it might be cool to see you guys all slide into Battle of the Builders. It might be kind of cool. All right. No questions, comments, or concerns from everybody. I love it. This is awesome. Okay. All right. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I'm going to jump over here and check our chat to see what kind of questions we have over here in the chat, if we have anything. Joseph says, Nate, you got this. Kudos on your fab skills. You can get that truck done. So I know you can for sure. Oh, there's a question there. We're not going to, oh, wait, there's one new message. Here we go. We'll see if there's a question in there. Will you be able to come watch it live? We will not. I mean, if you come to the trail ride when we're there, you could probably watch it live. I don't know how exciting it's going to be, but you will be able to watch if you come to SEMA, you'll be able to see it live. Can random people join you guys to wheel? That brings us into our wild card slot. As I've seen all you guys post up on your videos, just remember you can go to onX Offroad Build Challenge and you can enter to be a wild card. That person is just going to join you guys for the trip. So they will be joining us at the drag strip, joining us on Pay It Draw, joining us on Charlotte Gap, all that kind of stuff. Oh, that brings me up a good question. So now that we know the importance of the food challenge, because I mean, if I was you guys and I'm looking at, well, I got to drag somebody up that hill, I do not want to drag Robbie up that hill. Has that changed your thought process on our food challenge at all? Colt, we'll start with you. What was your thought process at the beginning, and is it still the same?
Oh, it's 100% still the same. This is a race car that you're going to be able to camp in. I think Rory said it the best at the very beginning. Before Toyota Tacomas, Overlanders just camped. So we're going to set up our camp, and we're going to, if we got to cook off, well, we might not be able to allow to have a fire down there, so we'll have to figure something out. But maybe it'll be a manifold cook, but we'll do it. We'll make something rad.
Well, I think we might be okay depending on the time of year. I was there in the spring and there was running water and we were able to have a fire, so hopefully we'll be good, being the fact that we're literally there last week in October. So I'm hoping that we'll be okay to have an open fire for sure. So I'm hoping for that. All right. Someone asked, what's Ian's favorite food? Tech tip for the group. Well, I'll answer that question right now. So we're going to kick this whole thing off. You guys are going to get to taste some, I told Colt this already, some Southwest food at Tucson Dragway. I'm going to introduce you guys to some of my favorite Tucson style food. So that might give you a hint as to what might help you win this thing. So, all right. So, Paul, what's your food plan and or process going to be?
I was thinking Hot Pockets. That was kind of my go-to, but
so not winning.
Well, if I got to drag bleeping Jeep's thing he's building up over that ledge, I might put some more time into it.
Oh, I never thought. You're right.
Yeah,
I do not want to drag. I thought Robbie would be the worst, but yes, that 12-foot long Jaguar tow truck would not want to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to drag that up here. So there you go. All right, Nate.
Hey, my box is going to be flat, and you're going to be able to drag it over things. Okay,
that is
you're going to have no resistance on the bottom.
That's a good point. All right, Nate, what's your thought process when it comes to cooking?
Well, you know me well enough to know I'm a foodie. Our whole family's foodies. We love to cook. We love to eat. So, I'll have to think about it. I've got a very small portable smoker that I bring camping with me. No joke. So I might be smoking some carne asada or something.
I like the sound of that. Robbie, I know you let me on the little secret. Is that still a possibility, or is that out the window now?
Let's just say I'm pretty confident I'm going to be choosing who to winch.
Okay.
We'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do have to get, I will have to bring another vehicle to bring somebody in with us, our secret weapon.
So we'll deal with that when we get closer, but we'll talk about that. Yeah. All right. Rory, I mean, you drag people off the trail all the time. What's your go-to food on the trail?
Maverick. Gas station food.
There's not a Maverick.
Could we bring a Maverick?
But like I said, I'm not worried because I know how to winch heavy obstacles up with lighter vehicles. So I can. That's not a problem.
There's definitely a benefit there for Rory for sure in this game. That's for absolutely. All right, guys. Well, I think we just lost Paul. I think he just left on that note. I think he went to Maverick. Like that's what he did.
All that Maverick talk.
It is. I do like visiting a Maverick when I'm out west. Absolutely. All right, guys. So.
I wanted to say that as far as people that are trying that want to be part of this, I saw one the other day that had a Ford-controlled Jeep pickup, and that thing looked rad.
Yeah, we're still we did put in the chat for everyone who's listening the link to apply to be the wild card. We have one more. Oh, there we go. Paul's back. He didn't go to Maverick. We thought he did. We do still have people applying. We still have one more live stream where all of you, not me, you guys are going to choose who our wild card is. We're going to bring all of us back and we're going to sit down and we're going to have some choices and we'll be announcing who the wild card is who gets to come on the trip. And that is 100% all of the competitors' choice. So when we get to our next live stream, we'll know who it's going to be. So, all right, guys, we're at 30 minutes exactly right now. Paul's back so we can all say goodbye to him. Before we wipe this thing out, any more questions either about the trip or about the build that we need to address here on this live stream?
I just want to confirm the cooking date is going to be Tuesday the 29th, correct?
I'll have to. Yes, the cooking date will be the night of Tuesday. Yes, that Tuesday.
Cannot fly stuff in.
I don't know.
Why? It's got to be put on ice.
A person in, not stuff.
On to you.
Yes, Tuesday the 29th will be our cooking evening. Yes, at that location. I will share all those pins with you guys so you have them. And then you'll have the locations of where we're starting, where we're stopping, all that kind of stuff. And you'll know where we're cooking. And that will be so you guys all have that so you can plan ahead for this trip. All right.
Perfect.
So with that, thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'm super excited. I'm stoked about all your builds. I've seen them all in person now, so I'm super happy with them. I think you guys are doing great. I can't wait to see them on the trail. I know that almost all of you guys are going to turn some serious heads at the SEMA show this year. I think you guys are going to basically put that show on its ear with some of these trucks. I don't think SEMA knows what it's got coming for us, so I'm excited to see you guys basically show off what you guys can do for only $20,000 and a whole pile of labor. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. And thank you so much for everyone who is here. Make sure that you go to onX Offroad Build Challenge, vote for which one of these people, as well as other people you want to win. They need those votes because it's all about the money when it comes to the big gamble in the end. Just like last year, I tell people all the time, just like last year, anyone could win this once we hit the road in October. So, all right, guys, good luck, and we'll see you in October.